Right, good evening. Let us try to understand today's articles which are under discussion. So the first article is the greatness of a landmark judgment, which was given in the Shreya Singhal versus Union of India. So what this article says is this, with regard to this, the Supreme Court has clearly mentioned that the section 66A of the Act is clearly violative of the freedom of speech and expression and the right of the citizens to know. In this context, why is it a landmark judgment? The first thing is, it promotes the freedom of speech online and it brings in the concept of the limited government, and it made the government a subject to the rule of law. And added to that, the highlighted point is, Supreme Court has clearly said a vagueness of definition of a particular law will lead to arbitrariness and also state tyranny. In this context, the Supreme Court said that the assurance is given by the government in power, which can change over a period of time, or the bona fide intentions of the government. They cannot remove the arbitrariness of the law. So, what it has said is, any law has to be read independent of the application or independent of the intentions of the administrator. It means that it has to be clearly objective and has to send the same conclusion to everyone. So, it has to be independent of the administrator's conclusions. So the laws has to be so clearly and objectively defined. So that's what is the article majorly stresses on. So now, in continuation of this discussion, so the section 66A, so it says that any communication using the information technology platform that is grossly offensive, maligning in character or menacing in character, or causing inconvenience or annoyance or irritation to someone can attract a punishment of 3 years. In this case, there are certain other things even left over. The section 69A of Information Technology Act, which allows the government to block certain websites, and section 79 of the Act, which protects the intermediaries from the information posted by its users. These are also causing some obstructions to the freedom of speech online. The present law did not do it. That's why the Shreya Singhal versus Union of India, the Supreme Court was able to deal with section 66A, and other sections such as section 69A and section 79 are left over with. So this is what is the important thing. And the other weaknesses this article mentions is this. So what it states is, now the first thing is, the judgment do not differentiate between one thing called as the freedom of speech and expression. It insisted on freedom of speech. It means that what you speak on the website is protected, but a cartoon or a photograph or a painting is not protected under this particular law. It means it failed to differentiate between freedom of speech and expression. So that is one great remarkable difference which he talks about. Now coming to the next articles. So in this page only, so on the editorial part there is one good article with regard to the war in Yemen. So what are the warring factions in Yemen? The fighting factions are the deceased are the besieged president, Mr. Hadi, H-A-D-I, and Shia rebels, Jaidi Shia tribe rebels known as Houthis, H-O-U-T-H-I-S, Houthis. So these are the people majorly fighting the war in the Yemen. So that is, fight is between Houthis and, so who are the Shias and Hadis. So the previous president, besieged president, Hadi's supporters, there was a fight going on between them. The Saudi Arabia is supporting the besieged president, that is Hadi, and Houthis, who are Shias, Jaidi Shias, they were supported by the Iran. So, but however, Iran openly do not admit that. So, the Houthis are supported by the Iran. So, this is seen as a war between the Sunni-dominated Saudi Arabia and the Shia-dominated Iran. So now, in this war, so one more danger is there is a strait that is called Bab el Mandab Strait. Bab el Mandab Strait. Let me write it over here. Bab el Mandab Strait. Where this strait is? This strait connects the so-called Gulf of Aden with the Red Sea. So this is an important narrow stretch of waterway that connects the Gulf of Aden and the Red Sea, which is an important route for the oil shipments. That's why the Yemen is so important. Now the Saudi Arabia has sent its troop. And one more thing is, in this context, the Arab League also started talking about having a joint military force. So 2011 we have an uprising in the Yemen. So in this uprising, almost 30 years plus old president, 30 years plus ruled president, Ali Abdullah Saleh, he was unthroned. Because of this, he is also actively supporting these Houthi tribes, that is the Shia Houthis, who are the rebel groups, who are having the control of the capital Sana'a. S-A-N-A-A, the capital of Yemen is called as Sana'a. So these are the things we need to understand with regard to this paper. And next is, there is a very good article. So with regard to, there is a very good article with regard to the next page, in the next page, that is related to the secularism. So let us see what is the article talks about the secularism. Recently, teachings of Bhagavad Gita were introduced in Haryana schools by the new government. So in this, what it has been said is, it is against to the India's secular character. So what it said is, the principle of India's secular character, it was Sarva Dharma Sambhavana. It means that the respect for all the religions. So equality of all the religions in the eyes of the state is the nature of the Indian secularism. So if it is the case, so what the article argues that the teachings of not just Bhagavad Gita, then all the other religions also need to be promoted. That is one thing. And the second thing is, the article also states